Hello Gemini, welcome to your reading. Hope all is well. Thanks for tuning in. It's Thursday the 23rd of April 2026. I'm going to do a love tarot reading for you guys. See what you've got going on in love. It's a general collective reading, so it won't resonate for all of you. Please take what resonates and leave what does not. Sorry, clearing the old froggy throat again. So Gemini, what do we have for you? What messages do we have for Gemini in love? What messages do we have for Gemini in love? King of Cups in reverse energy. Some of you could be feeling a little bit up and down in your emotions and your feelings at the moment. A little bit shut off, perhaps. Not feeling very balanced in your heart space. What other messages do we have for Gemini in love? Judgment in reverse. Some of you are not feeling very confident at the moment. Feeling stuck, held back, repressing some true feelings or emotions. Feeling doubtful. Feeling not very confident in yourself is what I'm getting, or feeling like someone is criticizing you or judging you in some way. Something's holding you back and you're, not a great energy to start with. What else do we have for Gemini in love? The Sun in reverse. Oh, more down and out, Gemini. You're feeling a bit down and depressed and sad and confused. You're not in a very good place by the looks of these cards. Messages for Gemini in love. There's something here that's confusing you or you're lacking clarity on. Queen of Pentacles in the upright, King of Pentacles in reverse. So there's something here to do with a commitment, a marriage, domestic issues, issues at home, perhaps distance, a disconnection from your partner, your spouse. Someone is feeling a bit more stable than the other. There's possibly someone here that's being a little bit stubborn or overindulgent when it comes to material comforts. I'm feeling like there's a husband and a wife here. There's a couple that are married that are going through a bit of a rough sort of a patch, which I'm sorry to see if that is the case. So let's see what these could be about for you, Gemini in love. Why is the Sun here in reverse energy for Gemini in love? Why is the Sun here in reverse energy for Gemini in love? Strength in reverse. Something here is a struggle, evidently. Someone's trying to remain stable, perhaps, for family, for, family that are involved, or perhaps you've got children. I'm getting the energy of someone that's trying to keep a family unit together, a marriage together. But it's causing them a lot internally. Although they're trying to kind of keep the stability here, they're very doubtful inside. They're sort of perhaps not showing it, but they're very doubtful that this is going to, well, become solid and good again. Why is Judgment here in the reverse for Gemini in love? Ten of Swords. Feeling betrayed, or you feel like someone has betrayed you. Yeah, I'm getting that very rock bottom energy. That very rock bottom. Or there's been some sort of painful ending, or there needs to be, something needs to come to an end. Someone's just feeling real bottom, kind of bottom of the barrel energy here. Like almost like a giving up energy. I mean, that could be you, Gemini. Ten of Swords, that is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. Someone's feeling very defeated, very unhappy, very unstable, and sort of at a loss of what else to do about it. King of Cups in reverse energy. Why is it here for Gemini in love? Three of Pentacles in reverse. Not feeling there's conflict. Well, we kind of knew that. You're feeling like you're alone in something, like you're the only one trying to keep all this together. Communication might not be very good, or might be non-existent. Very much feeling like you're the one that's trying to keep everything together and going, all the while feeling very alone in your efforts and feeling utterly betrayed. Queen of Pentacles. Why is she here for Gemini in love? Six of Swords. Yeah, it's just, this is endings. Like, this is, I'm getting the energy of the moment that you come to the realization that there's nothing more to be done other than to start making the transition to end, move on, let this go. And release this, well, release this issue, marriage, connection, in order to move on to more positive beginnings, energy. King of Pentacles in reverse energy. Why is he here for Gemini in love? Two of Swords in reverse. Yeah, someone's like, I don't know what the best thing to do here. What is the best thing here to do? How should I do this? What should I do? If I go this way, I'm wrong. If I go that way, I'm wrong. I can't do right for doing wrong, sort of thing. There's a lot of worry here. Resistance, or not resistance as much as not knowing what to do. Sort of very stuck, very, I don't feel like there's anything more to be done here. I've tried everything. But there is a slight hesitation, but more of an indecision. Sort of, there's this awakening of coming to an awakening that they're just, you don't think there's anything more you can do, and coming to that realization, and dealing with the reality of it. Why is the Three of Pentacles here in reverse energy for Gemini in love? The Moon in reverse energy. There's something here. Well, I'm not getting a sort of secret or a feeling of trust or fear of trusting. I'm getting more just a fear, confused, like a fear and anxiety of what to do, or trying to release some sort of fear or anxiety, and trusting yourself in knowing what to do next about this. Or something, perhaps something has been found out. There was something that was hidden, which has now come to light, and it's left you feeling betrayed, left you feeling very, very sad, very, you know, all those very real emotions that come with betrayal and disappointment and sadness. And I feel like something's just all coming to a head. And like I said a minute ago, facing the reality of the situation, what the actual truth is. And I'm feeling for someone that it's a hard truth to swallow. Ten of Swords. Why is it here for Gemini in love? Five of Cups in reverse. Yeah. Healing, accepting it, trying to give forgiveness, accepting a change, accepting the reality, trying to process it, and kind of healing yourself, or healing whatever needs to be healed, and letting go and moving on. Why is Strength here in the reverse for Gemini in love? Six of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, someone here is, I'm getting that someone here is very one-sided. Someone's not kind of giving you the same, or someone, you're feeling betrayed because someone's not putting in the same effort, or not contributing, perhaps in a material way, or with their time, their effort, their love. Someone's quite selfish, and someone feels very undervalued, unappreciated. Someone's just feeling very alone in a commitment here. Why is the Six of Swords here for Gemini in love? Five of Wands. And there's been tension, friction, arguments. Maybe, you know, yeah, arguments. There's this sort of energy of, it's not a nice energy. It's like really tense, really lonely, really cold, really, it's just not very nice at all. I think when communication, maybe when someone tries to talk about it, it just ends up in an argument. And I think someone has just given up with trying to talk about things, trying to work things out, trying to bring some sort of resolution here. I think someone's just sort of given up on that because it just brings conflict, arguments. Maybe someone's sort of stubborn and not willing to understand the other person's perspective, side of the story, or whatever it is. Someone feels like they're banging their head against a brick wall. Two of Swords in reverse. Why is it here for Gemini in love? Yeah, Six of Cups in reverse. Again, this is I mean, this could have something to do with family, but I'm getting more, this is someone that you've been with for a long time, committed to, married to, in a relationship with. I'm very much getting marriage here. Someone you've got family with, you've got children. And someone here is remembering perhaps the past, that it wasn't always like this. You've got a lot of memories with this person. Obviously it wasn't this way in the beginning. When you first started out, things would have been a lot happier and loving and all that kind of thing. I mean, perhaps for some of you this is to do with someone from your past, or you're holding, I mean, not everyone's in the same sort of energy here. Not everyone's married or going through marital problems or whatever. Perhaps for someone, your feelings, you're holding on to some sort of past baggage or some sort of past emotion with regards to someone from your past, and you're still feeling betrayed by it. But I'm getting a very nostalgic feeling of how things were in the beginning, in the past, when things were better, when times were better, when the feelings were better, when there was love and emotion and happiness. And I think someone's kind of holding on to that energy. It wasn't always like this, you know, we weren't always like this. We were happy, we've got a lot of happy times together, happy memories together. But I don't think from this energy, I don't think it's enough to go forward in the future in the same with this. I don't think it's enough to hold on to. I think the present situation is very different from the past. Why is the moon here for Gemini in love in reverse energy? Why is the moon here in reverse energy for Gemini in love? Death. Yeah, an ending. An ending. So perhaps there has been an ending here. Perhaps you're separated, or you're about to separate. The end of a cycle, the end of a, oh goodness me, you know, the end of a chapter, the end of an era. But sometimes, you know, it is what it is. There's holding on to the past or the way things used to be. It's not enough to heal sometimes. As unfortunate as that is, some things just need to come to an end. That's part of life's journey. Endings and beginnings. It goes round in a circle. Beginnings and endings, starts and finishes. That's the cycle of life. Five of Cups in reverse energy. Why is it here for Gemini in love? Ten of Cups. So yeah, sometimes things need to end in order for us to go forward to happiness. If we stay in unhappy commitments, connections, situations, then we won't ever go forward towards happiness. Things need to change. Things need to come to an end in order for new, happier beginnings to take place. And I'm still getting this energy of a time when things were happy. I'm getting heavily that this does involve a family unit, children, you know. Why is the Six of Pentacles here in reverse energy for Gemini? Seven of Swords. So there could have been some deception here. Could have been some sneaky behaviour going on, or something that was unknown. I'm getting that this might have been to do with money, or someone that's very strategic. But someone feels betrayed, that they've been deceived in some way, betrayed in some way. Someone who's tried to get away with something. Why is the Five of Wands here for Gemini in love? Seven of Pentacles in reverse. There's something here to do with money. Maybe there was some money invested somewhere and someone was waiting for some money coming back to them and it never came back to them, or they've been waiting a long time. But I'm also seeing the energy of someone that's been waiting for change, waiting for something to change, waiting for some sort of change to happen with stability, something to stabilise again. And it's taken a long time for it to happen, and it's kind of not happening. No change is happening, nothing is progressing, nothing's stabilising. Why is the Six of Cups here in reverse energy for Gemini in love? Judgment in reverse. I'm getting here that someone is not taking accountability for their actions. Someone's not, they're just not coming to that, they're stubborn, they're not willing to change, they're not willing to take accountability or to own up or to say sorry or to try and resolve things here. I'm getting the energy of someone that's very stuck in their ways, very stubborn-minded, wants everything their way. and I don't think they're about to change for anyone or anything, and not even for their long-term husband or wife, spouse. Why is death here? Why is death here for Gemini in love? The Magician in reverse. Someone here that wants their way. They want their way. They do whatever they need to do. They're very strategic, very possibly manipulative, very cunning, regardless of the sort of effect it has on others. They don't really care about that. They just want things their way, and they'll do whatever they need to do in order to get that, regardless of how it makes others feel. Why is the Ten of Cups here for Gemini in love? Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and someone is fed up. Fed up of doing the same old thing, going around in the same old circles. Perhaps fed up of trying to keep it all together and keep a brave face on it and keep the whole family unit sort of together and keep everyone happy. Someone's bored of being the one to have to do it all while the other person is just thinking of themselves or doing whatever it is they're doing that's causing harm. Someone's bored of going around in the same old routine, doing the same old thing, waiting for change to happen, and it never does. Or waiting for this person to change or become sort of, you know, think of others, not just of themselves, and they're just not doing it. Nothing's happening, nothing's changing, and someone really is getting to the point of having enough of all of it. That was quite a strong energy that comes through. That's for one ear. Why is the Seven of Swords here for Gemini in love? The Star in reverse, yeah. Someone's giving up hope. There's no, you know, there's no hope here. Someone's lost faith in this dynamic, this connection, this commitment, this marriage, this situation. Someone's just, and it's left them feeling empty. I'm getting someone that's feeling empty here. Seven of Pentacles in reverse energy. Why is it here for Gemini in love? Well, look at that. Look at that. We've got the Ten of Cups. And someone was waited around. Someone's held fire on doing anything because it concerns family. Someone was really hoping that this would turn around and turn into happiness again. Harmony. Peace, calm, union, you know, working differences out and getting back to a happier place together for everyone involved, for the family, for, you know, and they were really hoping, and it's just not happening because someone here they're just too stubborn and set in their ways, and I'm getting a very selfish energy. Why is Judgment here in reverse energy for Gemini in love? Ace of Swords in reverse. Someone's just not, they're not being truthful, or they're not coming to the point of awakening within themselves. They're just not wanting to change. They're not wanting to talk about it. They're not wanting to be honest about it. They're very cut off. They're very, no, nothing, you know, I don't want to talk about it. They're just shut off. They're not wanting to be truthful. They're not wanting to share emotions or true feelings about it. Or someone here is waiting for some sort of truth or clarity, but they're not getting it. They're not getting it. So there is someone here that just feels like they're being deceived, or someone's being sneaky. Someone's doing things behind their back, or whether that's to do with money or whatever it is, it's there. Why is the Magician here in reverse energy for Gemini in love? There you are, Gemini, the Magician in reverse. Perhaps someone feels that you're being sneaky, Gemini. Why is the Magician here in reverse energy for Gemini in love? Ten of Wands in reverse. Page of Wands in reverse. Someone's very unpredictable. They're very, I mean, perhaps someone's quite fiery and maybe argumentative. Very unpredictable, very non-committal, very a bit here, there and everywhere. And someone's been carrying a burden for quite a while and they're ready to let it go. Why is the Star here in reverse for Gemini in love? Five of Wands in reverse. Someone's trying to keep the peace so there aren't any more arguments, or someone's trying not to. Someone's sort of in this I give up energy because it just causes arguments. So, like someone's really trying to keep the peace here. Someone's just letting it go. It is what it is. Someone's trying to keep the peace. I'm getting someone, Gemini, you're dealing with someone that can be a little bit argumentative. A bit, you know, hard work. Ten of Cups. Why is it here repeatedly for Gemini in love? Ace of Pentacles. Hoping for a new beginning, or someone's offering some sort of, or perhaps there is an offer of, not me, actually, I'm not going to say that. You're waiting for something to change. You're waiting for this to stabilise. I'm just repeating myself, so I'm going to finish this up in a minute. Ace of Swords in reverse energy. Why is it here for Gemini in love? King of Pentacles. Eight of Swords. I'm going to put these into their suits for a moment. 1 minute. Gemini, I'm getting someone here that can change like the wind. I'm getting someone here that has the ability to be very stable, very solid, very grounded, a very family orientated person, but I'm getting that someone can be very unpredictable. They sort of change like the wind. I'm getting that you're having to be a little bit strategic about this. You're kind of, I'm getting someone that's keeping their feelings to themselves. They're keeping their feelings to themselves and they're trying to keep the peace while they sort of work all this out. They're trying to, I'm getting the energy of someone that's, they're having to be strategic how they handle a person, how they handle communication with someone. Someone's very stubborn thinking, very stubborn, very set in their ways, very resistant to change, very resistant to listening to someone else's perspective, but they wasn't always like this. I mean, perhaps there's been, you know, things that have happened that's changed them in some way. There is an energy here of some sort of secrecy and deception that someone feels very betrayed by, and someone who doesn't take accountability for their actions. Now, this could be something to do with money, the way that someone spends money. Perhaps they hide what they spend money on. Perhaps they're not honest with how much money they spend or something like that. I'm getting someone that's very unpredictable with money. Someone that just sort of spends money, a lot of money, and it sort of affects the stability of a family unit. And they're very sneaky. They don't take accountability for it. They certainly don't own up to it. And when you try and approach the situation, it ends up in an argument, ends up in, you know, friction, tension, stress, arguing, misunderstandings. Perhaps they lose their temper. Yeah, so I'm not, and someone here is sort of giving up. They've had enough of dealing with it. Going, you know, like they feel like they're just up against a dead end. They're all out of ideas of how to bring it back to harmony. And yeah, someone's just feeling wounded, defeated, betrayed, lied to perhaps. And yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it, Gemini, because that's what the energy is, that's what the message is. This is the energy at the moment, and it ain't going to change until something changes. So good luck, Gemini. Best wishes, lots of love until next time. Bye bye.